World of YouTube, Terrible Sight here with another video of an elevator test with Elisa Lam. Now, if anybody don't understand why I do these tests, is due to the fact that in the video footage of her at the Cecil Hotel and watching her repeatedly press the button, and just standing in that elevator, not and the door just not shutting. Every time I get a chance, I always step into an elevator. I get excited because this is proof that whatever that elevator was doing that day, I believe it was shut off, literally. I believe she was murdered and she was being stalked throughout that whole time that she was staying there. I mean, the reputation of that hotel and housing serial killers. And who knows, now that half of it, I believe now, is a residency of some sort, right? Where people live. So one only can imagine, the backstory of people that move in there and why and the reason. But like I say, every time I get myself into a situation where I can run an elevator, this is what I do. And as you can see, in this friggin' elevator was pretty scary. Oh man, the door, man, was like, when it opened, it would go, it was like scratching. And some of these elevators I get in, I don't know, man, they're pretty freaking old. And it's kind of scary, but yeah, right. But as you can see here, I pressed the button and how immediately, and like I said, this is an old elevator. And you can see how fast that door opens when you stick yourself in it. As you can sit here and just continue watching. So there I went and pressed the button, stuck my foot at the last minute, flew right open. Pressed the button, and being an old elevator, you can see how fast that damn, door closes. I can't say it enough, but, how this Elisa Lam is standing in that friggin' elevator, hopping in and out, just standing there. There was times where she was pushing all the buttons and that door still would not close. So that leads me to believe, I don't care what anybody says, call it suicide or not. That woman, that poor girl, I think was targeted in that building and murdered. And whoever friggin' was the killer had definite access to that elevator. And right. And she was acting bizarrely. Who wouldn't act bizarrely if you're standing there and your friggin' elevator won't shut? There had to have been encounters with somebody in that motel or strange happenings around her to make her act bizarre. And if anybody wants to put the her taking drugs or not on her meds, and how do you know someone didn't spike something from this poor girl and she was acting delusional because she got something put in, or let alone something that made her act delusional so they could move in on the right time to kill her. For someone to end up on in a water tank, and you need access to this, you need access to that. You have alarms on these doors at that place. but yet nothing went off that day, and she made it up there, and that cover to that water tank wasn't easy to open either. So, experience on something that someone is meditating to plan to create and kill is the answer. Will they ever reopen this case and look into something? Who knows? It could have even been a former person that worked at this place, and that's right. Who knows? He could have had keys made, or he could have kept keys that the people they never knew of, saying, "Oh, I lost my keys," and get us next set of keys, but the keys are really not lost. You know, there's a lot of thoughts, theories, ideas that can roam and they, you know, revolve and evolve around this case, but still, suicide, it's sad that these, you know, people that do autopsies and investigators that don't want to do the long, weary process of paperwork, you know, whatever the case may be, they don't want to continue on with something that they've already shut the case closed with their determination. And it's disgusting. You know, suicide, my a-hole. You know, I just can't even imagine having a kid off to try and do something with their lives, trying to get their independence. And depression runs strong in the United States these days. Of course, my kids all have it. And the coronavirus really screwed up everything. And I'll tell you, man, it's how can I say this? You feel like you can't do nothing in this world. And when you got vulnerable people like Elisa Lam, you know, not having the street smarts, and one can't just take in the what these people go through, especially trying to live with their mental illness and depression or whatever. She could have had more than just depression, you know, and trying to live in this big, nasty friggin' world, man. It's just insane. Because if you ain't got that killer instinct, and if you can't maintain your life to where you want it, you know, you ain't gonna make it in this big, bad world. The world I call is hell. There's no hell beneath us, just lava and molten stuff. But I don't know. It could go on and on and on, but oh man, I don't know. This is one of them cases that will drive someone to insanity, because we don't know who, why, what, when, and how this all went down and occurred. But at least I keep it alive with these elevator tests, because you know what? They're going to sit there and say that this woman went into a tank herself and drowned herself. Needs a big kick in the old kahunas. Because as you can see, and as you've been watching this elevator shut, close, open, and that girl had her fingers on the buttons, tapping. Eventually that goddamn door should have shut. But it never did. And for the law enforcement and investigators not to look into that, to go to the box that shuts this elevator off and check it. Now that is something I guarantee was never searched. I'm about to wonder, I can't even say after all these years if there would still be frickin' fingerprints or something on this. Because that would be something awesome that would solve this case. Whoever malfunctioned the elevator to make it stop working, I believe you would find, unless, you know, there's been multiple hands on it since then. But if there's a shut-off switch, there shouldn't be no need to shut off like that. Only for an emergency. So how many emergencies have occurred since this incident is the question. That's where I'd be looking. And if I was an investigator on this case at that time, and they got this friggin' stupid video, and they're sitting there, oh, she looks like she's on something, she lost her medication, and not to sit there and say, why ain't the door closing? You buffoons. You bunch of baboons. No, I shouldn't even insult baboons. They're probably smarter than the investigators on this case. Or any other case that gets closed, shut. Oh, we're working on it, but, you know. Yeah. Okay, right. Them dark little secrets that are held in with everything. Especially when law enforcement's involved, you know. Very, very sad and disturbing to think of that. But check it out, folks. Just keep watching. Opens, closes. I'm standing there and, you know, just that little touch in there, like I did with my hand right there. And the door opened right back up. And her door, that elevator, slamming buttons, you know, jumping in and out. It never attempted to shut. So if anybody can come up with any ideas on this case to tell me, or not ideas, any questions I want answered. Did they test or even search where the elevator shuts off for emergency? If not, someone's not a good detective out there that was on this case. Till the next video, folks, be safe, take care, always beware, because this person could actually still be out there.